You are 15. The sun in Culiacán is not a light, it is a weight. It presses down on your shoulders, mixing with the smell of cheap asphalt and the exhaust of passing trucks. You are sitting on a cracked plastic chair outside a convenience store. In your hand is a sweating can of Coke and a burner phone that feels heavier than it looks. This is your first job. You are a halcon, a hawk. But you don't feel like a bird of prey. You feel like a fly trapped in amber. Your job is simple. Watch the road. If you see the green trucks of the military, you press 1. If you see the black SUVs with tinted windows that don't belong here, you press 2. You are paid $100 a week. In this neighborhood, that is not money, it is a miracle. It is the difference between your mother crying over the electric bill and her smiling as she buys fresh tortillas. The first time the phone vibrates in your pocket, your heart hits your ribs like a trapped bird. You see the convoy, dust rising in the distance, green paint, heavy machine guns mounted on the back. You press the button, your thumb trembles. 10 minutes later, the street is empty. The guys in the neighborhood have vanished into the shadows like smoke. You realize then that you have a superpower. You are invisible, yet you control the flow of the city. A year passes. The sun is still hot, but you are no longer sitting on a plastic chair. You have grown taller, thinner, and your eyes have lost that soft, wandering look of a child. You are 16 when the man with the silver tooth approaches you. He calls you son and hands you keys. You are a runner now. The truck is a white semi rusted at the edges, smelling of diesel and old fruit. Underneath 1,000 watermelons welded into the false floor is 50 kilograms of crystalline death, the blue glass. Sinaloa to Tijuana, 8 hours of staring at the white lines on the road. 8 hours of your stomach doing somersaults every time you see a police cruiser. You learn the taste of fear. It is metallic, like sucking on a copper coin. Your mouth is always dry. You drink coffee until your hands shake, not because you are tired, but because the silence of the desert is too loud. You make the first trip, then the second. By the 5th trip, the fear starts to turn into something else, arrogance. You start to think you are smarter than the law. You are making $3,000 a trip. You buy a watch. It's the first time you felt the weight of success on your wrist. You buy your mother a television so big it covers the holes in the living room wall. She asks you where the money comes from. You tell her you are working in logistics. You aren't lying. You are moving the world's most expensive commodity. By 20, you are no longer driving. You have people for that. You have become a collector. They give you a gold-plated 9mm and a list of names. These are the people who owe the Plaza. Small business owners, pharmacy managers, nightclub promoters. They are supposed to pay the tax. The grease that keeps the wheels turning. You walk into a bakery. The smell of fresh bread is overwhelming. It reminds you of home. But you aren't here for bread. The owner is a man with white hair and hands that shake. He tells you he had a bad month. He tells you his daughter is sick. You look at him and you feel nothing. That is the moment you realize you are truly lost. The empathy has been burnt out of you by the desert sun. You don't yell, you don't threaten, you simply nod to the 2 guys behind you. They break every glass case in the shop. The sound of shattering glass is sharp and clean. They kick the old man until he's coughing up the red liquid that looks like jam on the floor. You walk out into the cool night air and light a cigarette. The smoke tastes like victory. The money is coming in faster than you can spend it. You have a BMW. You have a girl who loves the way you look in a silk shirt but doesn't want to know what you do at 3 in the morning. You are living the dream that the songs on the radio talk about. You are the king of the street. But every time you close your eyes, you see the face of the baker. You see the way the light left his eyes. You realize that the gold on your gun is just a thin layer over a lot of lead. One day, the old man calls you to a safe house. The air conditioning is humming a sharp contrast to the heat. He tells you there is a leak, a rat. Someone has been talking to the Federals. He says he knows who it is. He pushes a folder across the desk. You open it. The air leaves your lungs. It is Mateo. Your cousin, the boy who shared his Coke with you on that plastic chair 7 years ago. The old man says loyalty is the only currency. He tells you that you are the one who has to handle it. You drive out to the desert. The sky is a bruised purple, the sun sinking like a dying ember. Mateo is in the back of the SUV, his hands zip-tied, his face a mask of bruises. He isn't crying, he is just looking at you. He knows the rules of the game just as well as you do. You pull over near an old dry well. The wind is whistling through the cacti, a lonely, haunting sound. You lead him to the edge. Your hand goes to the holster. The metal is cold like ice against your palm. Mateo asks you to tell his mother he went to the States to find work. He asks you to keep the lie going. You look at your friend. You see the 15-year-old boy sitting on the plastic chair in his eyes. You pull the trigger, a dry, sharp crack that tears the fabric of the universe in half. The world goes silent. You feel the recoil vibrate and settle directly in the center of your chest. You realize it wasn't just Mateo's soul that vanished. It was yours. You are truly alone now. You walk back to the SUV. Your movements are mechanical. You are a machine, now a biological drone programmed by the Plaza. You drive back to the city in a trance. The neon lights of Culiacán look like open wounds against the black sky. You report back to the old man. You place the gold-plated 9mm on his desk. He smiles. It is a smile of ownership. 10 years pass like a fever dream. You are 30 now, but a 50-year-old man looks back from the mirror. You are the Plaza boss now. You run the state. 500 men would kill or die at your command. You have a compound with 20-foot walls and attack dogs. Your life is a series of encrypted messages and armored convoys. You sit in meetings with governors. You watch the men supposed to protect the country become your employees. You have the private jets, the properties, the respect that comes from absolute fear. But you also have the paranoia. You trust no one, not your lieutenants, not your bodyguards, not even your own brother. There are no friends here. One afternoon, stuck in traffic, you look out of the tinted window. You see a boy. He's maybe 15. He is sitting on a cracked plastic chair outside a convenience store. He has a phone in his hand and a can of Coke. He looks at your SUV. He sees his own reflection in the dark glass. He sees a dream of power. You want to scream at him, to tell him that the money isn't real and the only thing at the end of this road is a hole in the desert. But you stay silent. You realize you can't save him because you are the predator that he wants to become. You are just a tooth on a gear. The machine runs on the hope of the poor and the greed of the powerful. You realize that the slippery slope is a staircase you build yourself using the pieces of your own soul. You pick up your phone. It vibrates. A message from a lookout. The Marines are coming. You sit in your leather chair, light a cigar, and wait. For the first time in years, you feel like that boy on the chair again. This time you aren't waiting for a warning. You are waiting for the end. The cycle continues.